Hello students, in this video we are going to discuss about ICSE Grade 7 Chapter 1 Matter and its Composition. Matter. Most of the things that we see or feel around us are matter. But what is matter? What do you think is matter? Do you have any idea? Yes, everything that occupies space and has mass are called matter. Look around you. See the different things all around you. You might see rain, people, soda, sun, bell, crayons, glue, syrup, helium, computer, rocket, lemonade, smoke, books, steam engine, milk, socks ball, hot air balloon, fruits, oxygen, gasoline, hat, ice, flowers. These are the different things that you might see all around you. Everything that you see around is matter. Matter is anything that occupies space and has mass. Matter is anything that has mass and takes up space. See, glasses, butterfly, computer, coffee, desk, chair, cloud, sun, cat, plant, everything. Everything that you see around is matter, and matter is anything that has mass and takes up space. Characteristics of matter. Most of the things that we see or feel around us are matter. Anything that occupies space and has mass is called matter. Matter exists in three states: solids, liquids, and gases. These three states of matter as mass occupy space. All these states of matter show the basic characteristics of matter, that is, they all have mass and occupy space. Air, water, soil, stone, wood, pen, paper, and fabric are some examples of matter. Matter is everything that has mass and occupies space. Mass is the amount of matter contained in an object. Example, look at the slide. What he is doing is looking at this computer. This computer, the chair, table, CPU, glass of water, pencils kept, calendar, everything occupies space. So these are matter. Matter has mass. Mass is the amount of matter contained in an object. You hold one book. If you keep increased numbers of book, it become heavier and heavier. So mass is the amount of matter contained in an object. What about air? Does it occupy space as mass? Let's check with a fun experiment. Take the balloons and observe how they look. Inflate each balloons and tie at each end of balance. Next, prick the balloon and observe. The balloons were flat before the air was filled in them. After inflating, the size of the balloons increased. When the balloons were tied to the balance, it was almost in equilibrium. After pricking one of the balloons, the balance got tilted to the side of the other inflated balloon. After inflating, the air occupied the space inside the balloon, and hence the balloon increased in size. This shows air occupies space. After pricking, the balance tilted towards the inflated balloon, which shows that inflated balloon was heavier. This shows that air has mass. Matter may be perceived by our senses, by smell, by touch, or by The characteristics of matter can be summed up as matter occupies space, matter has mass, matter can be identified through the senses such as touch. Maharishi Kannada, the propounder of atomic theory, he called indivisible matter as Anu, that is, atom. An interesting story states that this theory occurred to him while he was walking with food in his hand. As he nibbled at the food in his hand, throwing away small particles, it occurred to him that he could not divide the food into further parts, and thus the idea of a matter which cannot be divided further came into existence. He called that indivisible matter as Anu. If you take matter, when you start dividing it, you will reach a certain point beyond which further division is impossible. That smallest unit of particle is known as Anu. Greek philosopher Democritus, he called that Anu a paramanu. Anu, an atom, which comes from the Greek word atomos, which means indivisible. So he was the one who first used the term atom. And the word is derived from the Greek word atomos, which is indivisible. John Dalton gave the famous atomic theory to explain the nature and the properties of atoms in matter. Matter is made up of small particles called atoms that join to form molecules. So small particles are called atoms joined together and they form molecules. Matter is made up of small particles. Particles of matter very small and retains the properties of the original bigger part. Particles of matter are very small and retains the properties of original bigger part. Take small pieces of watermelon and the bigger one too. Compare the taste of this small size watermelon with the bigger one. Small pieces of watermelon taste same as that of the bigger part. Example, you take potassium permanganate, add to the second beaker. These 5 beakers has water. You have to add potassium permanganate to the second beaker. Mix it well. It imparts pink color to the second beaker. After you mix it well, take some quantity from the second beaker, add to the third beaker. Mix it well. Then you take small quantity from the third beaker, add to the fourth beaker. Mix it well. Then you take small quantity from fourth beaker, then add fifth beaker. If you compare the color of these second, third and fourth, fifth beakers, the color fades from pink to purple. But when you check the properties of the fifth beaker with the second beaker, you will find a similar properties. Why? Particles of matter are very small and retains the properties of original bigger part. Atoms are smallest particle of an element combined to form molecule. Composition of matter. All matter is made up of tiny particles called atoms. It is the smallest particle. Atom is the smallest particle of an element which may or may not exist on its own. So this is regarding the stability of an atom. So it may or may not exist on its own. It depends on its stability. Atom is the basic unit of matter. Atoms combine together to form a larger particle called molecules. So atoms combine together to form larger particles called molecules. A molecule is the smallest particle of a substance which can normally exist on its own. So molecules can normally exist on its own. Atoms of either the same element or different elements join together to form larger particles called molecules. So what we have discussed, atoms combine to form molecules. So that may be a same elements, that is atoms of same elements or atoms of different elements. Atom of either same element or different elements join together to form larger particles called molecules. For example, 2 atoms of the same element, oxygen, combine together to form molecule oxygen, that is molecule of oxygen, one molecule of oxygen. Same way, two atoms of nitrogen. So these are atoms of same element, nitrogen. So one nitrogen atom combines with other atom of the same element, nitrogen, and they formed N2. Here one oxygen atom combined with other atom of the same element, oxygen, they formed oxygen molecule. So here molecule has formed when the atoms combined with another atom of the same element. Two atoms of hydrogen combined with one atom of oxygen to form one molecule of water. Here atom combined with other atom of different element to form molecule. Matter exists in three states based on the space between the molecules called interparticle or intermolecular spaces. The space which exists between the molecules are called interparticle space or intermolecular space. And attractions between the molecules called interparticle or intermolecular attraction. The attraction which exists that is between these molecules, the force which hold these molecules together, are called interparticle or intermolecular attraction. I would like you to imagine these balls are like molecules. When you arrange these balls closer, even if you arrange very close to each other, you will find some space between these balls. That is space between these particles. This space is called as interparticle space. States of matter. Matter exists in three different states: solid, liquid, and gas. Solid, liquid, gases. Solid. First we discuss about characteristics of solids. Solids, particles are packed closely together. So particles, when you check the solid particles, the particles which is present in the solid state are tightly packed closely together. The force between the particles are strong enough that the particles cannot move freely. So the interparticle force, they are talking about interparticle force. The force between the particles are strong enough that the particles cannot move freely. So they can only vibrate in their places. As a result, a solid has a stable, definite shape and a definite volume. Solid can only change shape under force as when broken or cut. Summary of solids. Solids keep their own shape. Solids turn into liquid when they melt. Anything you can take hold of is solid. Solid has definite shape. Solids can be cut. Solids cannot be easily compressed. Why? Because of the interparticle space. Already the interparticle space which is present in the solid is negligible. So it will not be possible to compress. It's a negligible. Solids cannot be easily compressed. Thank you, students. If you like this video, click the like button. Share to your friends. Subscribe my channel for more videos.